parenthood.
Motherhood is rough.
It can be one of life's greatest joys.
Just being a mom is hard, but we get up and do it every single day.
But that doesn't mean it's always easy. A brand new study out today from The Ohio State University found that roughly 62% of parents feel burned out, with 66% saying the demands of parenthood left them feeling isolated and lonely. In fact, nearly 40% say they feel they have no one to support them, and 4 in 5 want to connect with other parents.
The reality is that it can be isolating.
It's a reality Ann Helms knows all too well. She's a working mom of 2 who says she struggled with feelings of loneliness and isolation.
What does burnout look like for you?
It looks like exhausted, frazzled, overwhelmed, and it looks like I'm lacking patience with my kids. It's just, I feel drained.
Was there ever a moment that for you felt like rock bottom? Like, this is not okay?
Yes. So I had my 3-year-old and 6-year-old that I was trying to get to bed. And I had asked my 3-year-old for like the 17th time, can you get your pajamas on? And she was like, Mommy, calm down. Don't yell. And I was just like, whoa, was I yelling? Because that didn't even register as yelling.
And she's far from the only one.
Loneliness is far more than just a bad feeling.
Last year, the U.S. Surgeon General declared an epidemic of loneliness, calling it a public health crisis, one that can lead to higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and dementia. Even a 60% increase in the risk of premature death, or the equivalent to smoking about 15 cigarettes per day. Researcher Kate Golick, who's also a mom, says it's something parents should seek treatment for, just like any other condition.
Parents that identify as having burnout often are also identify as being very lonely. And so these two are very interrelated. And so ultimately, if parents want to help one, they have to help the other.
But even if parents don't have access to professional help, Golick says there are tools they can use, like connection, finding other adults who you can talk openly with, making time for yourself, and putting less pressure on yourself to be perfect.
So this is the message to parents, is that it is not selfish to need things for yourself that are outside of your kids. Parents aren't healthy, kids aren't healthy, and that is the bottom line.
You know, guys, one thing that was so interesting that the expert said was that when it comes to finding that in-person connection, sometimes the first step can actually happen online. You can go and look for parenting groups based around activities you enjoy. And Anne said one thing that really helped her ultimately stay positive was being honest. When people asked how's she doing, she now says, you know, things are okay, but drop-off was a little bit difficult this morning, and that's okay. And that, she said, has helped her be able to find other like-minded parents.
Yeah. I think every parent feels that way deep down inside a lot of times. Morgan, thank you.
Joining us now for some more insight is Tom Kersting, a family therapist, author of Raising Healthy Teenagers, Equipping Your Child to Navigate the Pitfalls and Dangers of Teen Life. It was funny because before the segment, Al was joking around that, like, parents have felt burnt out and felt this way for a long, long time. However, there's something unique about this generation of parents, isn't there?
Well, there is. You know, I mean, I just remember when I was a kid, growing up in the 80s, it was like we were outside, kicked out the front door, right? Nothing was planned and organized.
Yeah.
So nowadays, everything is planned and organized for kids. And guess who that falls on? It falls on the parents, particularly the moms. The moms are doing a heavy lift. I got to be honest about that. And there's no time in between working and raising kids. There's very little time for self. And that is critically important, that we take time to do things that, you know, like we have to give ourselves oxygen before we do it to somebody else.
It's interesting because I'm not at all surprised about the part that says parents are burnt out, because I think every parent feels burnt out by something. But it also says lonely, which I really think about because, like, it just proves to me that you can be lonely without ever being alone. Because as a parent of little kids, you're literally never alone. But you can be quite lonely. Can you explain that dynamic?
So you hear the term lonely and the term aloneness.
Yeah.
All right, they're the same. One is avoid, right? One is empowering. So what I try to tell people to do is, you know, turn loneliness into aloneness. Instead of sitting with yourself and just letting your mind wander about all the issues going on in life, delve within yourself, take 10 or 15 minutes a day and inventory everything that you are grateful for, right down to the shoes on your feet. And by doing that on a daily basis, it's very, very empowering. And essentially, you're developing probably what is the most important relationship of all, which is the one with self, which is necessary in order to have robust relationships with our children and our spouses.
We always talk about our kids being overscheduled, and wouldn't it be great just to let them run out the front door and play? But that doesn't seem like it's such an option if all the other kids are on teams and you want your kid to be involved. But are there things other than sitting with yourself and trying to kind of find that center? What else can you do when it comes to your day-to-day life?
So even with our kids, like particularly middle school kids and high school kids, in my experience as a therapist, almost all of them spend all of their time by themselves in their bedroom upstairs.
The kids
because they have their phones and stuff.
Oh.
So I always tell,
don't get us started on that.
Don't you go there.
Yeah, so I always tell parents when I'm out lecturing and stuff that we have to get our kids out of the bedroom and into the family.
Yeah.
Because that relationship, that communication, that's going to eviscerate loneliness. You know, you're going to feel a connection with your children. And it's going to be self-empowering as a parent, as an adult.
Yeah, you got to, it's hard to get to talk to your kids half the time.
And I think community with other parents and just get real.
Yes.
Like, this sucks.
Tell the truth.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Say it.
100%.
Stop pretending.
I love my kids, but it's exhausting.
Exactly.
I'm sick of Uno. There, I said it.
Do not play Uno Flip. It'll kill you.
Oh, my God. What about that one that shoots out the cards?
Oh, yeah.
The attack one.
Yeah, that one's good, too. All right. Thank you so much, Tom. Hi, Al.
Wow. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.